Divine Revelation. 12 miraculous signs confirming the supernatural 144,000 are here now nestled among rolling emerald hills. The quaint village of Hallowbrook buzzed with anticipation. At its heart stood the magnificent chapel of Saint Benedict, radiating faith like a beacon piercing the morning mist. The people believed fervently, till one dark day, shadows crept in. Anna, a devoted single mother, adored by many for her gentle spirit, faced her greatest challenge, yet her youngest son, Matthew, had fallen gravely ill, racked by a peculiar affliction. The village doctors were baffled, and whispers filled the air as despair settled like a thick fog over her humble household. Anna prayed daily, with fervor that rivaled the sun rising over the hills. Her once unshakable faith felt like cracks in a delicate porcelain vase, leaving her trembling with every cough Matthew uttered. Tears welled in her eyes as her children held on to her, their small hands gripping hers tightly. Each night, they would gather around the flickering candlelight, beseeching divine mercy, a plea so pure it soared like incense into the heavens. But the heavens stayed silent. Then came the day the mysterious traveler arrived. Weary and worn, he entered the chapel, drawn by the warmth of flickering candles. He spoke of the miraculous 144,000, the chosen healers who would soon walk among them, each miracle a sign of God's promise. Hope ignited in Anna's heart, a flicker so bright, it momentarily chased away the shadows. But skepticism soon shrouded the village again. Miracles in our time? Preposterous, some elders protested. Heated debates ensued, dividing the very fabric of the community. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue with each passing day. Anna's resolve strengthened. Though doubts loomed, she called for prayer gatherings, inviting all believers and those who doubted. Quiet murmurs filled the chapel as they joined hands, each heartbeat a fervent cry for mercy and restoration. The air thickened with hope and trepidation, mingling like incense rising to the rafters. Yet, one fateful evening, a storm erupted, tearing apart the very homes the villagers cherished. As thunder rolled, anxiety gripped every heart. In the eye of that storm, Anna felt a divine stirring. It was as if God himself called her to act. A public procession was needed, a march of faith toward the chapel, seeking healing in number and unity. Announcing the event, she stood perched on the chapel steps, a radiant beacon of hope. As villagers from both sides gathered, tensions crackled in the air, fear mingling with longing, belief clashing with doubt. When the storm gave way to an awe-inspiring silence, the clouds parted, revealing the twinkling stars above. Each villager, hearts pounding, drew closer to the chapel's sacred embrace. It was then that Anna felt a surge of warmth within. And just as the congregation held its breath, joy erupted. Before their eyes stood Matthew, miraculously healed, laughter replacing his once weak cough. Gasps of awe filled the night, tears cascaded, and praises echoed like a choir of angels. But as miracles swept through, an undercurrent of uncertainty lingered. Would the villagers truly unite in newfound belief? And where were the other 143,999? The air hummed with a mixture of joy and questions. For this was only the beginning of a deeper spiritual journey. The heavens continued to beckon, and the future remained cloaked in divine mystery. As the sun rose over Hallowbrook, the village awoke to a renewed sense of wonder. Laughter rang out as children played, and the air buzzed with whispers of the miraculous healing. But for Anna, the joy felt bittersweet. She watched Matthew chase butterflies, yet the shadows of doubt still lingered in the hearts of many. Could this truly be a sign? They pondered. Was he truly healed by divine intervention, or was it mere coincidence? Anna's heart tugged at the uncertainty rumbling beneath their jubilance. She knelt in prayer, seeking solace and guidance, longing for clarity amidst the chaos. Days turned into weeks, and as the village slowly embraced the miracle, Anna continued to lead prayer gatherings in the chapel. More villagers began attending, butterflies of hope fluttering amidst the uncertainties. Each prayer uttered was a seed planted in the rich soil of faith, yet some still sat on the edge, wary of surrendering completely. One day, an elder stepped forward, his brow furrowed with concern. What if this is but a fleeting moment? We must prepare for the struggles ahead, he warned, voice trembling. His words hung in the air like thick fog, amplifying Anna's worries. She felt a stirring deep within her spirit, a call to unite the villagers not just in joy, but in love and resilience. She looked around, noticing the hearts striving to hold on to faith, wrapped in apprehension. Let us not forget, the miracles are gifts, but the real challenge lies in sustaining our faith through trials. Anna proclaimed with gentle earnestness. The villagers nodded, hearts alight with hope, but still burdened by cares of the world. As time drifted on, strange occurrences began to unfold. One evening, as the moonlight bathed the chapel in silver, a radiant light erupted within the sacred space. Villagers gasped, turning to see shadows moving figures dressed in white. They emerged one by one, faces aglow with divine love, spirits humming like sweet harmonies. Among them was a captivating woman, exuding warmth, her laughter a melody that beckoned peace. Anna stepped forward, pulse quickening. "Who are you?" she asked, eyes wide with wonder. "I am Grace," the woman responded, her voice soft yet commanding. "I come as part of the 144,000, the chosen healers. Your faith has called us forth." Gasps rippled through the crowd as Grace extended her hands, each villager feeling a tingle of energy. "Fear not. You are enveloped in grace and truth. The healing you seek is not just for the body, but for the soul. Come, let us walk together on this path." With every step Grace took, the villagers felt a surge of hope washing over them, their burdens lifting. Slowly, Anna became aware of her own worries ebbing away, replaced by an inexplicable peace. But amidst the joy swirling around, another figure caught Anna's eyes, someone familiar. It was the mysterious traveler from days past. When their gazes met, she sensed a deeper revelation waiting just beneath the surface. What more is there to come? She wondered, heart racing. Grace smiled mysteriously, reading Anna's thoughts. "Believe, and you shall see there are miracles yet to be revealed." The night deepened, and the villagers gathered close around the radiant figures, faces aglow with anticipation. Just then, a sudden gust of wind sent ripples through the air, whispering secrets meant for earnest hearts. As dawn approached, Anna felt an invitation to dig deeper into the unknown. What awaited them beyond the horizon of their faith? The threads of destiny intertwined, hinting at an adventure they could not yet fully grasp. In the quiet of that sacred moment, she asked, "What will the next step bring?" And as the first light crested the hills, it felt as if the universe held its breath, eager to unveil the unfolding mystery. As the first rays of sunlight streamed into the chapel, illuminating the faces of the villagers, a palpable sense of expectancy filled the air. Anna felt the warmth seep into her bones, reminding her of the brightness carried within each heart. They had gathered together, driven by a longing for clarity and connection. Grace stood at the forefront, her presence radiating a serenity that swept through the congregation. "Morning brings new mercies," she proclaimed, her voice resonating with a musical quality. "As the day awakens, so too shall your faith awaken." Villagers leaned in, captivated by the promise of what lay ahead. Lila, a young mother, clutching her infant tightly, whispered to her neighbor, "What will happen next? Are we truly ready for this?" "The readiness," Grace responded, her eyes focused on Lila, "is a matter of the heart. Embrace the unknown and let faith lead you." Anna felt her heart racing. Lila's question wasn't simply hers, but echoed the thoughts of many. How do you prepare for the divine? She pondered. The answer seemed to flicker like a candle flame just out of reach. Will there be signs? Murmured another villager, the doubt evident in his voice. Anna noticed him biting his lip, wrestling with anxiety as Grace approached him. With every breath, she said, her fingers lightly touching his arm, "There are signs of the divine in your life. Open your eyes to the blessings around you." Swells of energy stirred among the villagers as tangible faith began to wrap around them like a warm embrace. Anna could see the transformation unfolding, the layers of doubt peeling away as hearts softened to the truth that surrounded them all. The mysterious traveler stepped forward, his dark eyes shimmering with wisdom. "Anna, are you prepared for what's being revealed?" His voice was steady, yet beneath it lay currents of urgency. "I want to be," Anna breathed, feeling a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. "But I sense something deeper. What more needs unveiling?" The travelers both nodded knowingly, and Grace replied, "What is to come cannot be fully understood just yet. It will challenge you, unite you, and strengthen your bonds. This is not just a moment, but a journey." As she spoke, the sky brightened, graceful splashes of colors danced above the horizon. Each hue seemed to pulse with life, an assurance that divine love was at work. Anna felt the rippling effect of anticipation course through her. Children giggled, chasing one another in the grass outside while others joined hands, forming a circle. There was a sense of us against the uncertainties, each heartbeat echoing a shared desire for unity. "Let us pray," Anna called, her arms open wide, and everyone joined in, their voices building into a harmonious chorus. The rhythm resonated, catching the attention of birds who soared overhead, chirping as if joining the divine conversation. Through the lengthening notes of prayer rose a fluttering whisper, a message swirling like the breeze. Faith calls forth the unseen. And suddenly, amidst the prayers, a vision emerged before Anna, bold and brilliant. Unfathomable realms of light and love flickered in her mind's eye, revealing fragments of what lay ahead. She gasped, a joyful tear streaming down her cheek. The traveler observed Anna's reaction with understanding. "The path will not always be clear. Seek, ask, and trust. Your questions are the keys, use them wisely." Encouraged by his words, the villagers murmured in agreement, embracing the mystery that lay before them. They were ready to embark on this course, ever prepared for the unimaginable. What other miracles awaited them? As the sun reached its zenith, Anna felt the stirring of something profound nestled within, a spark igniting a new journey into the depths of faith. Are we ready to receive? She wondered aloud, a question that hung in the air. And as echoing responses filled the chapel, a sense of thrilling anticipation washed over them all, wrapping around hopes like a cherished song. But beyond their embrace of today's revelations, what trials awaited on the horizon? What would emerge from the unknown and challenge their hearts once more? As the sun climbed higher, bathing the chapel in golden light, Anna felt a sense of divine urgency. The air pulsed with a mysterious energy, and the congregation buzzed with anticipation. Grace stepped forward again, her voice steady and gentle, urging them to hold onto their faith tightly. "Goddess whispers are soft yet clear," she encouraged. "In this moment, let us still our hearts and listen deeply." The crowd shifted, and the atmosphere grew thicker with unspoken prayers. Lila, visibly trembling, clutched her baby closer, her round eyes reflecting a mixture of hope and fear. "What do we truly seek?" she asked, her voice quivering. Anna could see the question traced on many faces, their brows furrowed in thought. "Hope," a young boy cried from the back, his innocence sparking a glimmer of light in everyone's hearts. The children, with their simple faith, had a way of cutting through the complexity of the adult world. Anna smiled softly. Yes, they were yearning for hope aflame to guide them through the shadows. They gathered closer, intrigued by Grace as she reached into the depths of her spirit and spoke in a voice that seemed to echo with deeper truths. "Hope is indeed where we begin, but we must also prepare to embrace transformation. God desires to move us from our comfort to our calling. Is our faith ready to be tested?" Murmurs rippled across the crowd. Anna's heart raced. Transformation. The very word was laced with both promise and peril. But she felt the warmth of encouragement all around her, a silent agreement binding them. "What if we were to witness signs, miraculous signs?" The traveler spoke up, his voice resonating like a bell in the silence. What if we were invited to see God's work made manifest in our midst? He glanced around, his piercing gaze igniting sparks of curiosity. What if each of us holds a piece of the miraculous? Grace's eyes lit with fervor. Let us open ourselves to what comes next. We practice not for ourselves alone but for the blessings we can share. The villagers nodded, emboldened. Slowly but surely, their hearts opened like flowers seeking the sun. They whispered their yearning, eager to experience the divine. Anna took a deep breath, letting the air fill her lungs, and closed her eyes. Black clouds of doubt and old fears faded into the background, replaced with unwavering faith. She could almost taste the sweetness of renewal. Can we create an altar of intention? An elderly woman mused, her voice trembling with reverence. A place where our prayers culminate, where the divine meets our desire. Absolutely. Anna found her voice, excitement flooding through her. Let every petition become an offering. We can write our hopes and attach them to flower symbols of new beginnings. We will labor together as one family, to lift each other and prepare for the journey ahead. Hands joined in agreement, voices united. The villagers nodded, eyes sparkling with possibility. The energy in the chapel soared, and warmth washed over them as they began to gather materials to create their altar as time passed. They crafted a beautiful array of blooms, petals shimmering in vibrant colors. Each flower carried a piece of prayer, small labels inscribed with words of hope, healing, and dreams. In times of uncertainty, reminders hold the weight, Grace said softly, lifting the first flower to offer to the heavens. Every bloom nurtures divine promise. Each time we return to this altar, we will be awakened again. The collective breath held a promise, the promise of unity, a tapestry woven by each heart's desire. But just as the altar began to take form, shadows flickered at the door. Anna turned, her heart quickening. What footsteps approached? Was it an omen or a messenger of hope? The villagers stood together, looking toward the door. What awaited them? Beyond the altar of intentions, were they prepared to face the trials that echoed in the distance? As uncertainty gnawed at her heart, Anna realized that perhaps this was the journey, the very essence of faith, wrestling with shadows to discover the light. What awaited on the other side? Would the divine manifest in ways beyond their comprehension? In that moment, she understood. God was calling them forward. What would they uncover in the face of the unknown? As the hushed anticipation hung heavy in the air, the door creaked open, revealing a figure cloaked in a tattered robe. The sunlight caught the edges of the fabric, casting a halo-like glow around the newcomer. A wave of uncertainty washed over the congregation, but Anna stood firm, urging her community to remain steadfast. "Who are you?" Grace called out, stepping boldly toward the stranger. Her voice held the authority of someone who had faced the storms of life with unwavering resolve. The figure hesitated, revealing a face both weary and wise, etched with the secrets of many journeys. "I am a seeker," he said, his voice gravelly yet melodic. "I travel far and wide, gathering stories and signs, drawn to the places where faith stitches together the fabric of reality." Anna felt the air change, an electric charge filling the chapel. Each word seemed to resonate deep within her soul. The murmurs of the congregation shifted to whispers of intrigue. What kind of signs? A woman called from the back, her brow furrowed in anticipation. The traveler smiled softly, a knowing twinkle in his eyes. Signs that reveal God's handiwork. Miracles that whisper truths we often overlook. "So, I ask you, are you prepared to see with eyes unclouded by doubt?" A deep silence followed, each heart thundering in rhythm with the uncertainty of the moment. Anna glanced at Grace, who nodded encouragingly. The strength of their shared faith felt like an invisible thread weaving them closer together. "We are ready," Anna proclaimed, her voice steady. "Whatever the divine has in store, we will embrace." With that affirmation, the traveler stepped forward, and the atmosphere shifted again, as though the very walls of the chapel leaned in closer, eager to hear his words. "Behold," he began, lifting his arms above his head, and the light seemed to bend around him. The first sign, a flower of pure white blooms within the hearts of those who believe. Faith, pure and untainted, nurtures the soul, just like this altar you've created. A gasp reverberated through the crowd as they repeated the phrase. Faith, pure and untainted. Their eyes brightened as they grasped the significance, each heart bearing witness to the truth blooming within. Yet, my friends, the traveler continued, the journey does not end there. The second sign is the love you share. He pointed toward Lila, who still clutched her child protectively. In moments of fear, it is love that stands as a radiant shield against despair. Nurture this love, and it will multiply, encircling your community. Love. The villagers echoed, the warmth of the word igniting their spirits. The traveler's gaze swept across the assembly, pausing on individual faces, charging them with purpose. The third sign, he declared, is the joy that springs from gratitude. When you lift your hearts in thanks, even amidst struggle, you create a resonance that calls forth miracles. Anna felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. Gratitude, a bridge to the divine. Could they really weave a tapestry of thankfulness that would draw in the miraculous? Shall we? Grace urged quietly, glancing at the altar where their hopes were nestled among the flowers. Each bloom now appeared brighter, the collective dreams manifesting a palpable energy. With hearts aligning, the chapel resounded with a fervent hum of unity. They began to raise their voices, each word a declaration of hope cloaked in faith. Anna could sense the power swirling between them, a sacred binding of hearts and spirits, each note echoing the signs they had begun to comprehend. But just as they sang, thunder rumbled outside. It was a presence they could feel in their bones, beckoning their attention. The light flickered, shadowed by a storm brewing on the horizon, and the traveler paused, his expression shifting to one of recognition. Prepare yourselves, he cautioned, voice low yet potent, for the signs are unfolding, and the heavens desire to awaken you. What will you do when the lightning strikes? A shiver ran through Anna, a mixture of fear and exhilaration. What awaited them beyond the threshold of familiarity and comfort? What other signs would manifest? As the storm began to lash against the chapel walls, the villagers stood firm, resolute in their faith, ready to witness the mysteries that God had yet to reveal. What would the tempest bring? Would their fledgling hopes weather the storm? The storm intensified, wind howling around the chapel's sturdy walls, as if nature itself sang a hymn of anticipation. Anna felt her heart race, sensing the charge in the air, a call to something deeper. The traveler stood before them, eyes shimmering like stars, unwavering in the tempest. Listen carefully, he commanded, his voice weaving through the murmurs of the crowd. The storm is not merely a sign of nature. It is a herald of transformation. Each clap of thunder carries a message, a reminder of the power that lies within faith and love. As the congregation leaned in, captivated, the first brilliant strike of lightning illuminated the chapel. The light pierced through the windows, casting extraordinary shadows around them. Gasps echoed, and Anna felt a jolt of energy, a divine promise woven in the crackling air. Every lightning strike is a touch of divine truth, he shouted above the roar of the storm. Just as the skies roar, so too must your hearts beat strong. Be unafraid, for courage is the next sign. Courage. The word hung in the air, wrapping around them like a warm embrace. Anna looked at Grace, who nodded, fire glinting in her determined eyes. Courage was not the absence of fear but the resolve to act despite it. It was the same spirit that held their community together through trials. Together, we can overcome anything, Anna whispered, her voice gaining strength. The villagers echoed her sentiment, stirring with newfound determination. The traveler lifted his hands again, channeling their energies. The fifth sign is unity. When the storm rages, it is the bonds of community that will shield you. Together, you can brave the fiercest winds and dark clouds. With that, the villagers linked their hands, forming a circle around Anna and Grace. They drew closer, their hearts beating in a rhythm of hope. When they prayed, Their voices rose a beautiful tapestry of faith that intertwined with the sound of the storm outside. "Strengthen our spirits, Lord," Anna called out, her voice intertwining with the collective plea. And then a hush fell, as if the earth itself were listening. In that moment, it felt as though heaven opened above them. The traveler's eyes sparkled with insight. "The sixth sign reveals the strength within you. Your faith is firm enough to withstand the fiercest tempest." As they held hands, the wind howled outside, but inside, a warm glow enveloped the room. The very air buzzed with expectation. Anna closed her eyes and felt a lightness and undeniable peace that implored them to embrace the storm rather than hide from it. "Each challenge you face is a stepping stone," the traveler continued. "The seventh sign is perseverance. Do you have the resolve to keep pushing forward, to keep believing even when the way is uncertain?" Allegiance filled their hearts as they answered, "Yes." The words surged with energy, resonating strength through every corner of the chapel. Once again, the storm roared, and then quieter bursts of thunder rolled across the sky. An unexpected calm settled upon them, a pause where time stood still, allowing space for reflection and transformation. Anna opened her eyes, feeling as though scales had fallen away. The community was not merely weathering the storm. They were a testament to the strength that flowed between them. "Embrace the storm," the traveler called out, and his words echoed like ripples on a pond. In every challenge, seek not only fear but the divine wonder ready to unfold. As dawn approached, the darkness started to retreat, but a different kind of darkness loomed. What might emerge from the remnants of the tempest? Were they truly ready for the revelations that awaited just beyond the horizon? Anna felt a flutter of hope intermingled with trepidation. The journey was just beginning, and the true mysteries lay ahead. Shrouded within the deepening skies, what awaited them as their faith met the storm? Only time would reveal the answers. As the light of dawn spilled gently into the chapel, it illuminated faces filled with anticipation. Shadows retreated, revealing the steadfast expressions of courage woven in each heart. The storm's wrath had transformed into a whisper, leaving traces of its power dancing in the air, like ghostly reminders of the night's fervor. Anna gazed around at her fellow villagers, their faces reflecting a mix of awe and expectation. There was a resolute spirit among them, a palpable energy as powerful as the storm they had braved. It was as if they could almost hear the echoes of the traveler's words still resonating in their hearts. "We have emerged stronger," Grace declared, her voice full of fervor. "What do we do now? What is next for us?" Her fervent eyes roamed the room, searching for guidance in the stillness that enveloped them. The traveler stepped forward, his presence commanding yet comforting, like a lighthouse amid the fog. "The storm revealed the strength within you, but now, it unveils the connections that transcend beyond your circle. The eighth sign is revelation." A hush fell upon the congregation. The word hung in the air, thick with meaning. Anna felt a stirring within her. Revelation. What could it mean? What truths lay hidden, waiting to be unveiled? "Listen closely," the traveler continued, his voice low and steady. "Your faith is a gateway. Beyond each cloud of uncertainty lies a new understanding waiting to be born." He paused, allowing the weight of his words to settle in their minds, drawing each villager deeper into reflection. As the clouds parted, a burst of divine light split the heavens, filling the chapel with a warm, radiant glow. It was a light that stirred something within Anna, igniting an unshakable hope. She focused inward, feeling the trembling where fear once resided, replaced now by an energy that coursed through her like a river. The traveler raised his arms to the light. "In this moment, embrace the truth that you are connected not only to each other but to the greater plan of the universe. You are all instruments of a divine symphony, each note vital to the whole." The congregation swelled with murmurs of understanding. Anna stood taller, every inch of her vibrating with purpose. "We are not just surviving. We are participating in something greater," she exclaimed, her voice growing stronger in the arms of the community. Encouraged, the traveler continued, "The ninth sign is trust in the divine plan. Will you surrender your worries and embrace the unknown? Will you step forward even when the path is not illuminated? Yes, shouted the villagers, their voices surging like waves against the shore. A collective surge of determination. The storm had been a precursor, a call to rise as they joined hands again. Cracks of light began to beam through the chapel, illuminating the space with a divine essence. It was then that Anna remembered the fleeting fears from the night before. Are we truly ready for the gifts to come? She pondered, her heart racing with excitement. Things will shift, the traveler warned, his voice wrapped in the certainty of warning and promise. With every revelation, be prepared to leave behind what no longer serves you. The 10th sign speaks of letting go. Murmurs erupted. What would they need to cast aside? Old doubts? Preconceived notions? Was it their attachment to comfort? Anna felt a push, a nudge from somewhere deep within. I have fears that keep me tethered. I'm ready to release them. She breathed out, feeling strangely free. The chapel pulsed with this newfound intention. As they stood together, Anna felt a connection unlike any other. They were woven into a fabric of space and time. In that sacred moment, the traveler stepped back, his gaze sweeping over them. Prepare your hearts, there is much more to come. The summer sun will soon rise, and so will your light. Intrigued and energized, the villagers settled into the promise of what lay ahead. But questions lingered. What would they have to relinquish? And what divine gifts awaited as the sun began to illuminate the new path set? Before them, a deeper revelation was unfolding, like petals in spring, revealing the beauty just beneath the surface. The atmosphere shifted, charged with a divine expectancy. As Anna and the villagers held hands, she could feel the warmth radiating from the joined palms, a tangible reminder of their collective faith. Each heartbeat resonated like a drum, echoing the rhythm of creation itself. Would they truly let go of their doubts? Would they grasp the unfolding promise that lay just beyond the horizon? Let us breathe together, the traveler suggested, and they all inhaled deeply, filling their lungs with the fresh scent of hope. As they exhaled, a collective sigh escaped them, a release of burdens long carried. Anna felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted, allowing the light to penetrate deeper within her soul. With eyes closed, the villagers listened as the traveler spoke softly. In letting go, you make space for blessing. Trust that the universe has a grand design, and in your surrender you will find freedom. Anna's heart swelled with a newfound courage. She remembered moments of doubt when her faith wavered, times when the weight of fear shackled her spirit. Shaking off those cold memories, she opened her eyes, looking around at the glowing faces of her friends and neighbors. Together, we pilgrimage toward healing, Grace whispered, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. We will find our purpose. The traveler nodded, encouragement shining in his expression. Indeed, the journey ahead is as vital as the destination. Each moment spent in faith brings revelation. Each act of love stretches the bond that unites you. As they all leaned in closer, the air around them vibrated with energy, a soft hum resonating like a symphony waiting to be played. Anna closed her eyes again, picturing the storms that had once darkened their skies. She imagined those clouds dissipating, replaced by brilliant rays of light cutting through the darkness. Just then, a gentle wind swirled inside the chapel, rustling the leaves of a small plant in the corner. The villagers turned their gazes toward the window, where colors burst forth like painted brushstrokes across the sky. It was a kaleidoscope of oranges, pinks, and yellows, heralding the dawn of a new day. Look, someone gasped, pointing to the window. In nature, we find our guide, the traveler indicated. The divine speaks through the elements. Each hue represents a facet of your journey, a promise of renewal and rebirth. A ripple of excitement surged through the congregation. Anna felt the urgency swell within her. This wasn't just about her or the village. This was a global awakening, a collective movement towards love and light. When the traveler raised his arms again, light refracted off the stained glass, casting colorful reflections that danced upon their faces. Embrace the divine messages within each sunrise. This is your call to action. The 11th sign is to awaken to your purpose. Anna felt her heart race anew. Was it time for her to stand tall and claim the gifts of her spirit? Could she be a voice among voices, guiding others toward the light? She glanced at Grace, who nodded resolutely. Yes, we will seek our purpose and shower our village with divine love, Grace proclaimed, and her words hung in the air like a solemn vow. Then be prepared, the traveler continued, for the 12th sign is the manifestation of your intentions. Each thought, each prayer is imbued with power. As you sow these seeds, recognize they will blossom into the reality you seek. The villagers exchanged glances filled with wonder and determination. What awaited them as they stepped into this bright unknown? What transformations would they witness together? Let your hearts remain open, the traveler smiled warmly. As the light of this new day envelopes you, trust that even in the unseen, you are always guided. Anna took a deep breath, letting the warmth fill her spirit. Would they really venture into the unexplored depths of their faith? A flicker of trepidation danced at the edge of her thoughts, but she pushed it aside, embracing the forthcoming miracle of discovery. As the morning unfolded, a vibrant song of hope filled the chapel. They were not just a village anymore. They were a beacon, prepared to illuminate the world around them. But just as they began to feel the swell of possibility, a sudden silence fell. The air buzzed with unspoken questions. What if the future held challenges greater than they could imagine? What divine tests awaited them on their journey toward revelation? Anna pulsed with both fear and faith, ready to embark on the next chapter of their magnificent journey. The silence was palpable, a heavy hush that hung in the air like a fragile spider's web, ready to be disturbed by the smallest breath. Anna could feel her heart fluttering, uncertainty intertwining with the hope that surged through her. What lay ahead could either reinforce their faith or shatter it. With a gentle smile, the traveler resumed, "Remember that every challenge is a teacher in disguise. The universe requires your cooperation. It beckons you to step into a new way of being." His words lingered, weaving through the minds of the villagers, stirring both excitement and apprehension. Anna felt a tingling sensation dance on her skin as the warm rays of light continued to stream through the stained glass, coloring their world in hues of divine possibility. The traveler raised his hands again, this time emphasizing the connection of spirit and purpose. You have embraced the 11th sign. Now prepare for the manifestation of your intentions. But be mindful. Sometimes the greatest transformations arise from the most unexpected circumstances. Unexpected? Grace whispered, her brow furrowed. What do you mean? The traveler leaned closer, his tone turning serious. When God intervenes, he often uses the frailty of humanity. You may find yourselves tested, not to break your spirit, but to strengthen it. Through trials, the depths of your soul shall be revealed. A nervous murmur rippled through the villagers. Questions sparked in their eyes. What would these trials look like? Would they remain united through them? Anna's heart raced as she considered the implications. Would they truly be able to face whatever was coming? With a deep breath, Anna dared to speak. What can we do to prepare? How do we find our strength in challenging times? The traveler looked thoughtfully at Anna, as if he saw the courage beginning to blossom within her. Seek truth in every experience, dear Anna. In surrendering to God's will, you shall find clarity. Resist the urge to share division. Instead, nurture the bonds of love among you, for it is love that will guide you through any storm. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, illuminating each face with warmth and color, a visionary energy began to pulse within the chapel. It was as if they were all part of a grand tapestry woven together by divine hands. We are ready, Grace declared. Her voice rang out, fierce and unwavering. We embrace love as our shield. In that moment, Anna felt a powerful surge of unity. The villagers joined Grace, their voices rising like a wave, each one declaring their commitment to love and connection. They were bound together, fortified by a purpose that was bigger than themselves. Yet, as the echo of their joyous proclamation settled, an unsettling thought crept into Anna's mind. What if their love faced trials that felt insurmountable? Would they falter, or would they claim their strength? The traveler's gaze pierced through her uncertainty. Remember, my friends, the true test is not just about overcoming challenges. It's about how your hearts respond in the face of adversity. You are called to shine brighter, to reflect the divine light in darkness. His voice resonated in the stillness. A divine stillness gathered momentum under the canopy of promise that enveloped them. The villagers stood shoulder to shoulder, aware that the waves of vitality embraced them. But mingling with the electricity of purpose was a sense of impending revelation cloaked in mystery. And then, it happened. A gust of wind rushed through the chapel, swirling around them, and in that moment, a single feather floated down from above, landing softly at Anna's feet. It shimmered in the light like a cosmic sign. What does this mean? Someone whispered, eyes wide with wonder. Anna picked up the feather, feeling its delicate weight in her palm. Was this a sign of guidance? Or perhaps a reminder of the divine intervention that awaited? With renewed determination, she raised her head, looking into the eyes of her friends. Was it time to step into deeper waters of their faith? What could this feather symbolize for their journey ahead? The questions loomed large, mingling with the whisper of the wind. Who would help decipher this sign on their path of growth? In the days that followed, an unshakable energy built in the chapel. The air buzzed with anticipation as Anna, Grace, and the other villagers circled around the altar, where the feather rested as a symbol of hope and guidance. Each time they came together, the questions lingered, but now, hope enveloped them like a warm blanket. Anna couldn't shake the feeling that the feather was a message from heaven, a reminder of the divine presence guiding their journey. Each morning, she would glance at it, seeking answers and comfort, and as she prayed, she felt an invisible thread weaving through her heart, drawing her closer to the community. Let us not only seek answers but also share our stories of faith, Grace suggested one evening, her voice vibrant and encouraging. Let us create an evening of sharing, where every voice is heard, where every journey is honored. The villagers nodded in agreement, ready to unite in a tapestry of testimonies. That night, the chapel sparkled with candles, reflecting the flickering hopes of the community. One by one, they shared their struggles, fears, and ultimate triumphs. Old doubts were cast away as stories intertwined, laughter and tears merging together, creating a sacred bond. One mother recounted how she found faith amidst loss. An elderly man spoke of finding joy in the simple moments of life. Each shared struggle felt like a piece of a puzzle coming together, revealing a magnificent picture of resilience through faith. As they turned to Anna, she felt a rush of gratitude wash over her. I was blinded by fear, unsure if miracles were meant for me, she confessed, her voice shaky but strong. Yet through you all, I've discovered something profound. We are the miracle. Our faith transforms not just our circumstances but each other. The chorus of amens and tears of affirmation echoed around the chapel, creating an atmosphere thick with divine energy. Then, just as they settled into a comforting silence, the feather glimmered under the candlelight. The traveler's words returned to Anna, urging her to embrace whatever transformation lay ahead. The feather signifies rebirth and the lifting of burdens, she whispered softly. It reminds us we can rise above all. With renewed strength, the villagers clasped hands, feeling the deep connection they formed pulsate among them. Each heart was a vessel, overflowing with purpose and love as the night deepened. A serene calm enveloped the chapel, echoing the peace within their souls. Anna sensed a gentle whisper, beckoning them toward a transformative encounter, urging them to act on the faith they had nurtured. What if we created a blessing ceremony? She proposed, excitement lacing her words. Gasps of surprise were heard, followed by nods of agreement. Yes, let us invite the community, everyone who feels lost or burdened. Let us be instruments of healing together, Grace exclaimed. And so it began. Word spread through Hallowbrook, drawing others from neighboring villages. The chapel buzzed with anticipation as they prepared, laughter floating in the air along with hope and prayer. On the day of the ceremony, as the sun rose, the sky glowed with orange and gold, reflecting the love that radiated from every villager. With joyful hearts, they gathered, hands extended, ready to bless anyone who sought healing. As they prayed, they felt the warmth of the divine brush against them like a gentle breeze. Slowly, one by one, people stepped forward, each seeking healing not just for their bodies, but for battles hidden in their hearts, for the weariness in their souls. Eyes closed, they all opened themselves to receive. Anna glanced over at the feather, now woven into a sprig of flowers, a flourishing testament to their growth. At that moment, a shift happened within her, a realization that the strength didn't just lie in miraculous signs but in their unity, in unyielding love and compassionate support for one another. Then came the unexpected, a collective roar of joy as the crowd erupted in praise, witnessing transformations unfold around them. Laughter intertwined with cautious hope, resonating through the chapel and spilling into the streets, illuminating Hallowbrook with faith renewed. What was this? She wondered, tears sparkling in her eyes. That sacred act of blessing and sharing. They experienced the 12th sign, the manifestation of intentions born from sincerity, love, and forgiveness. Every prayer uttered unfurled into tangible blessings. The air danced with expectation. A divine promise fulfilled. As dusk greened the horizon, the travelers stood before them. You've journeyed together and transcended, simply seeking miracles to becoming miracles, the traveler announced, his voice wrapping around every soul present. There were no longer whispers of doubt. The village echoed with triumphant songs of goddess faithfulness, vibrant and alive, a testament that miracles are not just witnessed but shared in love, woven into the very fabric of community. The bond of faith had transformed them all. Anna smiled, knowing that together they had built a legacy rooted in hope. This was the beginning of their true journey, a dazzling dance of divine manifestations, laughter, and love blooming forevermore. As they departed the chapel, Anna felt a surge of gratitude. She glanced at her fellow villagers, revealing their spirits shining brighter than ever. The feather weighed lightly in her hand, a small yet profound reminder of everything they had overcome. May we remember always, Anna whispered to herself, feeling the warmth of their shared hope. We are each divine reflections, a part of something much greater than ourselves, forever standing united. And with that, she descended gracefully into the night, enveloped in the light of boundless possibility. Now, dear friends, this is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories that will elevate your spirit. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and spread the miraculous energy. Comment below with your reactions and testimonies about this. Ending your voice matters in our sacred community. And share instantly this story with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation of faith. Let us awaken hearts together and shine Goddess light. Don't wait even one more second to make a difference.